All right, so good morning. Welcome to Monday Morning Yoga for all levels. We'll be starting this practice with some more gentle movement and layering up to give you options to be wherever you need to be to take care of your body and give you, hopefully, exactly what you need this morning. So will you take a seat as we begin today? Just take a seat on your mat. You're welcome to sit on a block if that helps you sit taller. Just take a moment to settle while I start us off with a couple of thoughts from Thich Nhat Hanh. So start by noticing your breath. That's always the quickest bridge from the busyness of where you've been to this more peaceful place inside. Just noticing breath. That's all you have to do. Breathing in, breathing out. And just notice for a second what is with you right now. What busyness, what thinking. Notice what your body is experiencing right now, where there might be tension or tightness, tiredness. And notice emotions. Notice any feelings that come with you as you first step onto your mat. And I'm going to do something that a yoga teacher should never do, which is I'm going to provoke a little bit of emotion in you at the beginning of this practice. I'm just going to say some words, and I'd like you to notice where these words show up in your body. Ready? Mask or no mask? Black lives matter. All lives matter. Trump, Biden. Three opposites. Where do you feel that in your body? Because those are the headlines we're living with right now 24/7. And we're all on one side or the other. And it's living in our bodies. So I invite you to not stuff down or push away what you just felt right there, but to rather use that in this practice. Use this practice to feel those feelings and to find a better way to work through them. So Thich Nhat Hanh says it like this: if you were a mother and you heard your baby crying, you would put everything down and you would run to the baby and hold the baby tenderly in your arms. And this is exactly what we should do when the energy of anger comes up. Our anger is our ailing baby. We must embrace it in order to calm it. The yogi knows that anger is not her enemy. Her anger is just her suffering baby. She must take good care of the baby using the energy of mindfulness to embrace this anger in the most tender way. Breathing in, I notice that anger is in me. Breathing out, I'm peacefully being with my anger. So take a deep breath in and just notice what is in you. And it might not be anger, it might be sadness or joy or fear or excitement, but what's here? And then open your mouth to let a loud exhale go. And let's do that again 2 more times. Deep breath in, exhale. And one more time, deep breath in. Slowly transition your body into child's pose. Allow your knees to come wide. Allow your big toes to come closer together. And stretch your arms overhead. Bill, can you hear music? This pose, this child's pose, is a place of surrender. It's a place of just bowing down and drawing inward. Start to shift your hips from side to side and just see what you find there around your lower back, the outer edges of your hips. Taking deep breaths in and out. Just allowing everything that you feel to be felt. Breath in, breath out, a processing. Let's raise up to our tabletop position and stack the knees and the hands, and we'll begin a spinal balance today. So lifting one leg and the opposite arm out away from your body. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, tuck that knee and elbow underneath you and just start to move like that with breath. You can use this like we do our cat-cow to warm up your spine. And one more, reach out far away from us, as far as you can. Bend your back knee, wiggle your toes, and circle your ankle. And either stay just like this, or reach your arm back to find your foot and do a little nice breath and opening across your hip and your shoulder. Release that leg straight back, hands on the floor. Swing your leg around to the side and just let that foot fall to the floor. Turn sideways, and then we'll raise up onto the knee and the foot, arms out in a T. Reach toward the floor on your bent knee side, and then reach toward your leg. This is called gate pose. And start to move with your breath in a way that feels like your torso is warming up, your core is engaging. You're just waking up your spine. Beautiful. One more time, each direction. And we'll pause upright in gate pose. Fingers lifting to the ceiling. Knee rooting into the earth. Make your side body even longer. Breathe into that new space. And we'll windmill the hands to the earth. Return to a tabletop position, switching sides, opposite leg and arm. And then begin that movement with breath here. Exhaling underneath and reaching out with the inhale. Just let your breath continue to bring your attention into your body. It's so noisy out there. And our body has just been begging us to pay attention to what's in here. Like a child, reach out long. And then bend the knee, either stay right there and just feel that strength, or if you like, you can come back to the foot with your hand. And open through your hip and your shoulders. Opposite hand to foot. And then release the hands to the ground, the leg extends, and we'll sweep the leg out to the side, rising up with our arms in a T. And then we'll begin movement with breath on the side. Just an exploration, a curiosity. One more big exhale, and we'll meet in gate pose. Fingers reaching high, Knee pressing down, side body extended long. And then we'll return our hands to the earth, finding that tabletop position once again. From here, let's tuck our toes and press the weight back over the heels, feeling a stretch underneath our toes, across the arches of our feet. And then we are on our way to down dog, but before we do that, just lift your knees. So push with your hands, press your hips back, and let this be just the beginning of the slowest you've ever peeled up into downward facing dog. When your legs have extended, start to reach your heels down, and then let's pedal our heels. Bending one knee and straightening the other. Looking for little pockets of tension and tightness and giving those all of our attention, all of our focus. We're listening. And then we'll slowly walk our feet to meet our hands. Come into a forward fold, Uttanasana, and you can just grab the back of your calves or your ankles, knees are bent, and just pull yourself down. If you have back pain, bend your knees more. Rest on your legs, give your spine that support. And nod your head yes and shake your head no. Sigh. With knees bent even more, let's slowly sweep the arms through chair pose all the way up. Extended mountain and maybe even back a little farther. So really two extremes of the spine. Let's do that again. Hinge from the hips slowly. Forward fold. Arms take a hold of the back of the legs. And we'll scoop again and reach up slowly into that extended mountain, maybe back bend. Continue moving with your breath from a forward fold to a standing back bend, opposites. Noticing if there's any place along the way that there is sharp pain. We always avoid that. Let's do that 2 more times, just waking up and warming up the spine, the hips and the shoulders. And we'll pause in this extended posture, fingers to the sky. Take your feet just a little bit wider. Interlace your palms and press them to the sky. See if you can put more space between the bottoms of your feet and the palms of your hands. Just press and stretch. From there, a gentle side bend. Maybe you'll feel that around your armpit or your lats, your obliques. What is here to be noticed on this Monday? What's here that wants to be felt and experienced? What keeps getting shoved down that wants to rise to the surface and be expressed today? And we'll meet back in the center. Release your palms, cactus the arms, open through the chest, and just breathe right here in this open position. Receptive posture. We'll pick up our toes on both feet and just turn them out on an angle. Reach out into a 5-pointed star and then just slowly moving into sunflowers. Moving all of the joints of the body. major joints. You can move a little faster if you kind of want to fire it up and get a little heat and energy, or you can stay slow and gentle. What did you bring with you today, and what does that ailing child need? Let's reach up one more time into that 5-pointed star. And then cactus the arms again. Put a giant bend in the knees. Come into goddess pose. Arms reach out like we're holding the sun. Sink a little lower and just feel that heat that we've started to build in our bodies. Let's turn toward the front of the mat. One arm just scoops if you aren't already there. Come into high lunge. And on an exhale, just bending that knee, sweeping the arms behind. We'll do that 2 more times. Reach high. Bend forward. Reach your arms behind. And 1 more time. And then lowering the fingers to the floor. Step the back foot to meet the front foot and switch legs. Step all the way back into this lunge, reaching high. Find your balance. And then 3 breaths. Forward and down. Up and back. Good. One more time, and we'll let our fingertips come to the floor. Step the back foot to meet the front foot. Press your hands to your shins, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Lift halfway. And let's meet in downward facing dog. So these vinyasa, these movements between postures are always optional. If you'd like to take a vinyasa, shift forward, plank pose, knees or toes, lower halfway down, come up to cobra or upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. On an in-breath, let's raise the right leg high. Circle your ankle, wiggle your toes. On the exhale, shift all the way forward, stepping that foot between your thumbs. And we'll drop our back heel to the floor, reaching to warrior 1. So let's just settle here for a few breaths. The warm-up did its work. Press into the outside edge of that back foot. This first pose in the warrior series is getting ready for battle. Looking out over the battlefield in front of us, finding our footing, steadying our breath, tapping into our heart's truest intention. Calm strength. As we open out into warrior 2, slide your feet onto more of a straight line to one another. Deepen your lunge if you can. And shift your eyes over your right hand. This is where the warrior takes aim, places focus, gives attention. What is it that needs your attention right now? Find it in your body. What needs your attention, and give that all of your attention. We have to do the work in here before we can do the work out there. It starts right here on your mat, our mat. Let's turn the right palm and reverse the warrior. And this is the pose where the warrior gets brave and takes up more space, steps into their voice, their power, their influence. So lift your shoulder, drop your hip, feel that opening around the side of your heart as you expand. Beautiful, everyone. Releasing the elbow to the thigh, let the opposite arm just come up to the ceiling or overhead. Perfect. We're going to keep that front knee bent. Let's flow. Reverse warrior, deep breath in. Side angle, big breath out. Use this as a cleansing. Really sniff in, powerful breath, and really blow out. You can open your mouth if you need to. Just cleanse with breath. One more time, giant inhale. Straighten your front leg, go a little farther. Beautiful. And then windmill the hands to the earth, downward facing dog. You can stay right there, or you can flow through vinyasa. Your choice. When you feel ready, raise your left leg to the sky, circle your ankle, wiggle your toes, and slowly step between your thumbs. Dropping that heel, warrior one. Find your feet, steady your breath. What if today you became a warrior for yourself? A warrior for the cause of self-care, self-love, self-reflection. A warrior willing to do the hardest work of turning the mirror around and looking at yourself today. Start here, ready for battle. And then let's open into warrior two. Taking that wider, longer stance. Eyes looking over the left middle knuckle. Shoulders down. Filling with breath and emptying. Focus. Concentration. Attention. Turning our left palm, let's reverse the warrior, taking up some space, expanding, growth, living in an epic way. Come down, side angle, elbow to thigh, fingers either straight up or over your head. Yeah. Beautiful, you guys. Go ahead and start to move back and forth with your breath. Reverse to side angle. And just using the breath that works for you. This might be gentle and slow. It might be a little more fast and furious, kind of powerful, fiery. You know exactly what you need today. On the next inhale, let's reverse the warrior. Come back as far as you can. Reach and lengthen. And then we'll windmill the hands to the earth, meeting in downward facing dog with your option to stay or flow. Let's meet in downward facing dog. Cuddling your heels and lifting your hips. Looking forward, either step or float your feet to your hands, lifting halfway, folding forward. Inhale, arms reach high, come up again into that back bend. And let your hands come to heart center. We start to move a little more deeply into our hips. So reach your arms high, and on the exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Come up halfway, and let's meet in downward facing dog. And as always, option to stay or float. Need another little degree of heat. Let's raise the right leg high, and this time we're going to bend the knee and open the hip. So hips are stacking. You can circle your ankle. If you have room around you, you're welcome to flip your dog, dropping that foot to the floor, hollering yes. And then we'll lift that leg to the sky and draw the foot between our thumbs. Let's drop our back knee to the ground and find a kneeling lunge. And we're going to start this hip sequence with hip flexors. Something we can all use right now. So go ahead and flatten your back foot to the floor. Let your hip flexor just open and lengthen. And we're going to start low by just lifting the knee up and down on the floor. You're pressing into the toenail side of your foot, the top side of your foot, lifting and lowering. And then leaving that knee down on the floor, let's press hands to the front knee and lift the torso, coming into a very gentle lift, maybe a little back bend. If that causes back pain, stay a little more upright. The tailbone is a little bit tucked. Option to stay here or lift one arm or two in a kneeling lunge. Just finding all of that length in the left hip flexor. As we release our hands to the earth, let's shift the hips back, finding that front hamstring. Let's do that a couple times. It feels like we could ease into that, yeah, a little bit. And then we'll stay here and start to walk our hands forward, lengthening our spine along that extended leg. If you'd like, you can literally pick up your foot and scoot your heel forward a few inches, find a little more. And then just go ahead and drop your head down toward that leg. Breathe into whatever you feel and find here. If you'd like even more, you can cross your opposite hand outside that ankle and just draw your torso more toward the outer leg. And then shifting forward again, let's find that kneeling lunge. The left hand stays on the floor, right arm comes up into a twist. And you can stay here on your back knee, or if you prefer, you can lift that back foot or that back knee. Take a couple more deep breaths here in this spinal twist, heart opening, hip opening. And as we lower that hand to the floor, we'll start to shift our weight and our body toward the wide side of our mat with our feet wide and lower the head down. And just softly bend one knee and then the other. Now we're just looking for sensation in the inner thighs, the adductors. The hips are a complicated territory. They're like a basket with muscles running in all directions. Every slight movement can change the sensation. Extend the legs as much as you can. Lower your head. The hands come to the outside of the heels, ankles, and gently pull your head to the earth by bending your knees. Let yourself exhale fully. Just exhale like a purge, a release, a letting go of something. Something that has been held for too long. And just slowly start to turn to your left leg, probably facing now the back of your mat. We'll drop our back knee to the ground. And just let that knee settle on the earth. The hips start to lengthen and open up. And then if you like, you can just start to lift and lower that back knee, pressing into the front side of your back ankle. This is an awesome way to strengthen the ankles. Those of you that are doing a lot of hiking benefit from strong, stable ankles. And then leaving the knee on the floor, let's press our hands to our front knee. Tuck the tailbone and lift and lengthen through the spine. See if you can find the variation of this that causes no back pain. It just feels like lengthen the front of you. You can stay here or lift an arm or two arms. Draw in a deep, slow breath that comes all the way down into your hip. Let that breath go all the way as you settle into this posture. Let's release our hands to the earth and slide the hips back into that hamstring stretch. Go a few times to kind of prime the pump. Get things ready for hold. And once you've found that, walk your hands forward. Give yourself a little more. Maybe even slide the heel forward. The forehead drops down toward the shin. If you like, you can cross the opposite hand outside the ankle. And just breathe deeply here. Let's shift ourselves back to a kneeling lunge, moving into a twist. Placing the right hand down, opening the left arm. You can stay on your knee or tuck your toes, lift your knee. Expand and open here with generous breath. Releasing that hand to the earth. Let's step to downward facing dog, sweeping the left leg high. Give it a nice big shake. Bending the left knee will open up that hip. Again, you can stay here or flip your dog. Remember to always yell yes if you flip your dog. That leg comes up and we'll find downward facing dog. Stepping our feet to the width of our mat and turning our toes out. Let's slowly walk the hands back to meet the feet. And we're going to be on our fingertips here so that we can bend and straighten our knees. So just moving ourselves into this little frog kind of position. As we lower our hips, our head comes up. Your knees determine how deep you go. If you feel like your heels are starting to lift, take your feet a little bit wider. Try that. And then let's come down into prayer squat. And so for some of us, it's up here, which is a little bit of work. If your knees can tolerate a deeper bend, drop your hips down. You can also sit on a block here. Elbows are inside the knee and elbows press out while the head lifts up. So make your spine as long as you can. There can be some really nice relief here for sciatica, low back pain. Give yourself some space and some length back there. And I know some of you like to fly, so if you'd like to take crow pose here, this is a great entry point for an arm balance called crow. So either lift and lower a few more times, hold your prayer squat, or take flight, hands on the ground, knees on the backs of your arms, look forward and fly. And make sure to smile, whatever you've chosen. Let it be joyful, playful. When you're ready, release your fingers. Let's bring ourselves all the way around to a seat. You can just extend the legs straight out in front of you. Join me with a collective exhale. Good. Arms are going to reach high, and we'll keep our legs out in front of us for now. Let's drop the left hand to the floor, reach the right arm up and over. You're going to plug your right hip bone into the ground as your right shoulder lifts high. And switch sides, drop the right, lift the left. Side body again. As you come back to center, let's reach the arms up. Bend your knees until you can grab the soles of your feet, the toes, and then just start to inch your feet out as far as you can, holding onto your toes. So if your hamstrings are pretty tight, it's going to look like this with a straight back. If your hamstrings are allowing, maybe the legs are a little straighter. I have tight hamstrings, but I have long arms, so it's also a proportion thing. So there's no judgment about how bent or not bent the knees are. Just feel length in your body, your back, your legs, calves. Let a long exhale go once again. And then start to bring yourself back to that straight spine. Slide your hands behind your knees and come up to the bottoms of your feet. We're going to come into boat pose, Navasana. So a way to lift your waistband up off the floor, chest to the sky, and then find that balance point that's kind of between the tailbone and the sitting bones. You can keep a hold or release. Hug your navel to your spine and play. Maybe you raise your sails. Maybe you're in a little canoe today and you're kind of close to the surface of the water. Breathe. Feel the strength of your core and the length of your spine in this balancing strength posture. On the next inhale, take a hold of the legs, the feet come to the floor. Our hands will come behind us, fingertips pointing forward. Let's come into this figure 4, hip opening stretch. So find the place where you can comfortably just hang out right here. with that knee bent, chest lifted. If you push the knee away from you a little bit, you can find something maybe more interesting. This is a nice place to just stay and feel that gentle hip stretch. But if you'd like to go a little farther, you can cradle the baby. So holding onto the foot with your hands or your elbows. And just finding something deeper in that hip. I kind of like to move around and massage the glute a little bit here. Feels pretty good. Note to self, book a massage when all of this is over. And then just allow that foot to cross over the bottom leg, sitting with a tall spine. Let's move into a twist. So sliding the hand behind us, either hand or elbow on that front knee. Inhale to a tall spine. Exhale, deepen the twist. See if you can exaggerate that belly coming into the spine every time you exhale. And let's return to the center. Place both feet on the floor, but this time just a little bit wider for windshield wipers. Just roll back and forth, side to side. Nice release in the outer hip and the inner leg. And then we'll switch. Figure 4, other side. It's a good idea in this bent knee position to flex your foot to protect your knee. And then just push your knee away from you, lift your chest. We're stretching a muscle deep in our hip called piriformis and some of its closest friends. That's what you're starting to feel there. And you can either stay here or go into that cradle the baby. Just holding with your hands or maybe your elbows. And we'll give that hip a little bit more of a massage. The more we practice yoga and the more we study yoga, we learn that our emotions truly are stored in our bodies. Traumas get stuck. They find little hiding places. And our practice is not to go in with a jackhammer, but rather just to invite those scared emotions just to peek out the door and just welcome them with an embrace. Let's cross the leg over for a twist. Tall spine, reaching hand or elbow to the knee. Close your eyes and just imagine that your spine is kind of like a barbershop pole. On the inhale, spiraling up. On the exhale, spiraling down. One more nice big inhale and exhale. And return to the center. Letting both legs come out in front of us, give them a little shake, a little muscle pounding, a little massage on the floor. Start to make your way down onto your back. If you have a block handy or a rolled up towel, we're going to use this under our hips today. It's not necessary, but it's nice. So we'll move into bridge. For today, I'm going to invite us into supported bridge. So that's just placing something firm right under the sacrum, the hips, and sometimes it takes a little adjusting to find the right spot. You can move the block higher onto its higher levels if you like. You'll know when you have the perfect spot because it's kind of like your body just exhales, releases. So allow yourself to receive this posture without a whole lot of effort. If your back invites you, you might extend one leg to stretch that hip flexor more, maybe both. We'll see what seems like a good idea for you here. Breathing in and just noticing what is here to be noticed. Breathing out, just a little release valve. Breathing in, I notice something here. Breathing out, just softly give it some space. If you have turned your block to a higher edge, slowly return it to its lowest side. And again, you're welcome to use a pillow or rolled up towel. We're going to come into waterfall. So the knees first come into the chest and you can just give a little hug. It's going to feel like that block is closer to your glutes and less digging into your low back. And from there, your lower back is kind of rounded. We're going to lift our legs. To me, this almost feels like I'm falling off the edge of the block. You kind of want it away from you a bit more for support. And we're in waterfall. Imagine an hourglass you just turned over. And just noticing those first few grains of sand starting to spill into the empty bottom of the glass. Coming from your toes to your knees, from your hips. Letting that energy come from your elevated hips toward your heart, your shoulders, your neck, your head. Breathing in, I notice what's here now. Breathing out is a gentle release. Let's bend our knees, place the feet on the earth, and slowly release that block or bolster, whatever is under you. Stretch your body out long, fingers overhead, legs in the opposite direction. Take a hold of one wrist and then the other and just stretch your body long the way you do when you first wake up. Like a cat just stretching in the sun. Take any final stretches or movements that your body needs as you begin to settle yourself for a couple of minutes of rest in Shavasana. For some, this is a hard posture because it's hard to be still. Maybe counting will help. As you inhale, count to 3 or 4 or 5. As you exhale, same count. You might gently let the tip of your tongue touch the roof of your mouth just behind your teeth. Let your back teeth separate, a way to just release any tension you have in your jaw. Notice soft spaces behind your eyes. Notice a belly rising and falling. Notice a body being held by the earth. As your body is resting here in stillness, perfect stillness, resisting that urge to fidget. That's just an ego that doesn't want to be calm. Ego's like busy. Bring your attention to sound. What sounds do you hear in the space around you? Can you extend your hearing outside of the walls? Bring your awareness to temperature. Do you notice the temperature on your skin? Is there a taste in your mouth or fragrance? And just taking your awareness now just to all of your senses. Begin to gently wiggle your fingers, aware of what that feels like. Wiggle your toes. Move your head gently from side to side. And then take a big, luxurious stretch with a yawn and a sigh. And start to make your way to one side and eventually back to a seat. And we'll bring our hands together in front of our heart, this always tender gesture of gratitude. What I'm learning in my old age after 20 years of practicing this beautiful thing called yoga is that yoga isn't about feeling better. Yoga is about feeling. Yoga invites us to feel all of it, the light and the dark, the happy and the sad, the joy and the pain, because that's what it is to be a human being. So thank you for taking some time to get into your body and for being tender with whatever is here today. Journaling is a really helpful tool. If things come up in your practice, put them on paper as quickly as you can. Thanks for being together today, my beautiful yoga friends. Namaste.